Hey everyone, welcome back to DiamondTrail Ranch. Today we're going to be tackling a question that I get all the time, quite frankly, and it makes sense because we have chickens and ducks. So if you're just getting into this, or you've been in this for a while, in the game, if you call it, with grocery prices soaring 24% higher than they were what was it, last year? I mean, the numbers are just insane. That's at the top of my head. Should I get chickens or ducks for my backyard homestead? It sounds like a simple question, but I mean, there's a lot more to it than you think. We've got both. So I figured I'd walk you, around, show you some of the flock, talk through everything we've learned, some good, some bad, and the hilarious. So let's get at it. One of the things I want to talk about first is egg production with these guys. Most people start backyard poultry for fresh eggs, right? Chickens are just the staple. It's the classics. It's what you're getting for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Good layers like Australorps, Buff Orpingtons, or Leghorns can give you 5 to 6 eggs a week per hen, sometimes even daily in their prime. Ducks, though, they're a little different. Breeds like Khaki Campbells, Welsh Harlequins are great layers. You can get up to 300 eggs a year, and that's not exaggerating. The difference is in the egg itself. Duck eggs, are bigger, creamier, have more protein. They're a baker's dream, honestly. So I would totally look into getting ducks as for their eggs if you want to get into baking. Cookies, cakes, scrambled's just fine. They're gonna have more nutrients. They just have this richness that chicken eggs don't match. The other cool thing is seasonal laying. Chickens often slow down or stop in winter unless you supplement light. So ducks, on the other hand, they don't care. Ours laid through Florida's mild winter like it was no big deal. They don't care. Ducks are they seem to be a lot more hardy, in my opinion, in general, than chickens. The temperament and personality, vibes. Let's talk about vibes with them. Chickens are curious. They get independent. They don't have to be independent, but they can be. It's just kind of how much hands-on you're putting on both. You can put your hands on your chickens and your ducks. They can both be home, pets, if you will. They also serve a purpose. So chickens get sassy, social hierarchies. The pecking order is real if you don't watch closely. Some hens will bully others. We see that here every day. Ducks are just absolute clowns. They're like, I like to call things clown shoes. They're awkward, wobbly, loud little comedians. They're more flock-minded, less into pecking or fighting. You don't see them really fight much, honestly. They follow each other around like a tiny parade. I don't think we've honestly ever had to separate them for fighting. I don't think we have, actually, ever. We definitely had to break up chicken drama plenty of times, even hens. We have I think 4 roosters right now, and I've actually had to break up not just the roosters, but the hens. So if you have children, not goat kids, ducks tend to be more gentle. Chickens can peck at shiny things, fingers and toes. If you wear flip-flops, be mindful. Some roosters will come up and wreck your ankles, so be mindful of that. You shouldn't have any chickens doing that, though. But it can happen. I'm serious. Ducks just kind of stare at you like you're weird, which, fair, right? Let's go ahead and clear up a myth. Chickens can be way louder than ducks. Roosters crow, hens squawk when they lay. The whole flock gets vocal when startled, right? Ducks are noisy, but it's a different kind of noise. It's more background chatter than sudden bursts. Male ducks, which are called drakes, are basically silent. You'll know if you have a male duck because it's so much quieter than a female. I'm sure you're gonna have to get at least 2 chickens or 2 ducks. Don't get just one. That doesn't make any sense. Female ducks do quack very loudly, not kind of loudly. They are very loud. It's rare they get high-pitched drama like the chickens do, though, especially when they're laying. If you got close neighbors or your noise rules, you know, especially if you live in an HOA, check with them first. But the noise, you know, hens get a lot louder than roosters usually when they're when they're laying eggs. Ducks might be the better bet as far as sound. Skip a drake unless you want babies. Straightforward. Here's where the ducks lose points, though, guys. They are messy. Chickens will scratch up the ground, sure, but the ducks create straight up wetlands. They splash in their water dishes, turn mud into soup, and they poop everywhere. Watery poop, by the way, it's just how their digestion works. It is what it is, you know. But honestly, duck manure is amazing for gardens. It's not quite as hot like chicken manure and can be used immediately in compost or directly in the soil. Just don't go too overboard with it, because you can get bacteria. Like if you're not diluting it, you can get bacteria all over your, especially if an orchard, the leaves. You know, you'll get a lot of leaves, but you're also creating a very high bacteria environment when you're using natural compost tea, I'll call it, the duck water. So compost tea, I have videos on that stuff too. It's a whole nother awesome topic. But chickens are generally drier for the most part, tidier. They're a lot easier to clean their area, just easier to manage in general. You know, they'll still dig their dust baths, poop on everything, and the cleanup is simpler, especially if you're deep litter composting inside of the coop. So if you're trying to keep a pristine lawn or neat pen, chickens are the less chaotic as far as that goes. So pest control with the 2, though, I would say ducks win hands down. They're natural foragers, live slugs, snails, mosquitoes, beetles, all those things that hide in the grass and mulch. This is our friend Dixie. I'm sure you all know her. If not, say hello, Dixie. She hangs out with you when we're filming all the time. She's one of our milkers. Chickens will also eat bugs, but their foraging is more scratch and peck. They can destroy garden beds digging around for them. So you don't want your chickens in your garden beds. Not cool. While ducks just sort of slurp bugs up as they go. You'll see them, which is kind of cool. Ducks are used in rice farms across Asia, which is neat, to naturally control pests. So I've watched my ducks march across our yard picking bugs out of the midair. It's amazing and hilarious. Chickens can be a little goofy when it comes to trying to catch flying bugs. Housing is where chickens shine as well. They like roosting up high. They put themselves to bed when the sun goes down. If your door is not closed, they will be up in the trees. Ours are sometimes if we don't close them up in the coop. So they put themselves to bed. So when the sun goes down, they lay eggs in nice, tidy boxes. All you do is open the door in the morning and close it at night. Ducks, not so easy. They don't roost. They sleep in a soft pile on the ground, literally anywhere. They lay eggs wherever they feel like it, sometimes in the corner, sometimes under a bush, sometimes literally right outside of a door. Also, ducks don't go to bed on their own. They don't at all. You usually have to herd them in a coop at night. If you've never herded ducks before, it's like trying to direct spilled marbles or herd cats. Sorry guys, I don't do editing really. Checking if somebody's here. No, there's nobody here. Dogs are going nuts. That's literally their job, though. That's why we have them out here. Ducks also need a water source deep enough to dunk their whole head, though. That's very important. It keeps their nostrils clear. Nostrils. And their eyes clean. So a pond, kiddie pool like we have right there. Deep bowl is a must. Chickens just need simple water. Make sure they have water, though, because they go through it very quickly. Ducks do best with a little extra niacin, especially ducklings. You can supplement. There's brewer's yeast is an easy supplement you can sprinkle on feed. Also, ducks will eat a lot more forage, grass, weeds, insects. Let me show you this little line pattern, right? Grass, no grass. So if you free range them, both chickens and ducks appreciate kitchen scraps, garden trimmings, and treats like mealworms. I have a video we're working on with a partnership coming up on that as well. I highly recommend you guys check it out when it does come out. Avoid mold, obviously moldy food that's been sitting out, raw beans, anything too salty, just because they'll eat anything, and even if they aren't supposed to. So both chickens and ducks can handle Florida's heat. Ducks handle it better thanks to their love of water. A shallow pool lets them cool off fast, and they don't overheat as easy. I mean, that's just honest truth. Chickens are tougher in cold weather. They fluff up, roost together, and generally tolerate cold well unless they get wet. So ducks get cold faster if they don't have shelter from wind, even though they love water. In Florida Zone 10A, both are totally doable. Excuse me. We have we have crows, blue jays, whatever, you name it. I wish we didn't have so many crows here, because they take the eggs. They will steal your eggs, and they tell the other crows. They're smart. In rainy season, ducks actually thrive. Chickens, nope, and they're dumb too. They'll just stand there in the rain. I don't know what that's about, but the water beads off of the ducks. So wet feathers, muddy coop, soggy bedding, it's a challenge. If you want, let's talk about the verdict. Simplicity. If you want simplicity, dry coops, lots of eggs, less of a mess, daily mess that is, you want to go with your chickens. More traditional too. I mean, everybody talks about chickens, right? Pest control, entertaining personalities, rich eggs, and don't mind a little mud. Go with your ducks if you want to change it up. We have both. I say do both. It's a great, you want to get good at 2 or 3 things if you're just getting into homesteading. I would say 2. I would go for the 3 things. I would go with chickens, ducks, rabbits. Those are my 3. They're a great team, chickens and ducks, and they make the homestead a whole lot more fun. So that's it for today, guys. That's what he's got to say about that. Let me know in the comments below. Do you have chickens, ducks, or both? Are you guys just getting started? If you found this helpful at all, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's free. It helps us out, get us, more visible. We're a new channel, so more real-life homesteading tips, animal chaos, backyard adventures. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.